can be aware of on a conscious level. And if you can solve the root problem, all these other issues will tend to take care of themselves. The real problem is that you're operating from limited resources and inherited beliefs about how life and the universe works. And what you need to do to get past that is to make some critical shifts in your perception of reality. You think you have limitations on your time, your money, your relationships, your health, and you don't even believe that it is truly possible to overcome these limitations. So you've been trying to navigate your life with the old beliefs and the old limitations because you have not had access to what we're calling the new operating system, the quantum powers, that truly can free you from your burdens once and for all and allow you to manifest what you really want to manifest and live the empowered and fulfilling life that has always been there for you.
So, Gene, what will actually start to happen to a person once they start to unlock these quantum powers?
Well, once this big problem of operating from a limited sense of powers is handled, and we're going to be doing that, you'll see the world will open up for you in a way it never has before. It's as if reality says, hot dog, we've got a live one there. And all kinds of possibilities and synchronicities begin to happen. You begin to move away from not knowing what to do to having a kind of luminous clarity on exactly the most important and creative path for you. You'll feel ignited. You'll have fire in the belly. You'll have sustained fire to keep you moving, creating, evolving into a much higher potential. You'll have the power to expand time so you don't feel overwhelmed or rushed through life. You'll naturally attract people and resources that you need for your own projects, your own becoming. And you'll be able to identify what your bigger vision is. Once you know your calling, you will be able to manifest your vision. I certainly have found that throughout my whole life. You'll be able to give time and energy to your creative endeavors without sacrificing the management of your everyday life. In short, you will become a magnificent human. There is not a day that goes by that I do not get one or more letters from people who, as a result of this new work that I'm doing, are living a life of transformation, change, and very rich accomplishments. So let me say this for you as you're listening right now, that no matter what your life is now, or what you've been through, or what your unique challenges are, you can have access and use these quantum powers in your life. You truly can.
So as you're listening to Gene share these insights, I want you to really get present to actually how this could show up in your life. What's actually possible if you started to unlock these quantum powers within your own life? Gene, can you also speak to that? Like, how does this translate to actual benefits in everyday life for the person who's listening right now?
Well, they will not wake up with same old, same old. They will wake up with zest and a sense of what's new on the adventure horizon today. They will find that synchronicities, extraordinary coincidences, will just seem to be following them around, the right person, the right place, the right resource. They will really be given to real self-care that will then enable them to acquire the physical, the mental, the psychological, the spiritual virtues that allow them to take the higher and the deeper path. And, of course, they will be astonished truly at the number of possibilities and capacities that just seem to be rising up. It's, in a sense, it's like a second birth. It is truly, and my word that for it is, it's a regenesis. It is a second order of life. It's a higher order. It is a renaissance of who you are and yet may be.
This is really amazing. So let's actually, because I'm very curious now, and I think a lot of people are really on the edge of their seat wondering, okay, well, how do I go about unlocking these quantum powers myself? Now, you've identified these 3 keys to guide us to start this process. let's go into those 3 keys now, okay?
Well, all right.
So,
all right. The first one, I've taken all my discoveries and my research and results of my experiments, and I've carefully woven them together into 3 very specific keys that you can begin to using right away today to begin achieving the same kinds of results in your own life. Here are the 3 keys. First one has to do with gaining clarity about the true nature of reality. And the second key is unlocking the life beyond limitations, and the third is access your quantum powers. And what I have found, friends, is that when integrated correctly, these 3 keys can quickly and powerfully liberate you from the shackles of everyday time, resources, limitations. And once you know how to unlock your quantum powers and truly be the universe, and truly be the universe that you really are at your core, everything that you can imagine for your life begins to become possible. So there are symptoms that are often there that attend the keys. So the symptom of key one, gaining clarity about the true nature of reality. That has to do is that people feel they have very little power in their lives. They want things and experiences and connections, but when they try to make those things come about, they often encounter obstacles and resistances and fear, and they end up believing that maybe they're just fated not to get their desires.
Let's get into these keys in detail. Tell us a little bit more about that one, Jean.
Well, it really begins with Plato. So many things begin with Plato. Plato, in his great work, The Republic, has a story about a cave. And it's about people who don't understand the nature of reality and how the universe really works. It seems that these people are chained inside a cave since childhood, and their backs are to the light, and they only see the play of shadows on the wall in front of them. And they believe that's what reality is. Reality is shadows. They don't know any better that there's more. When in some sense we're chained inside our own caves of experience and tradition and habit, and there's so much more everywhere around us that we are afraid to look. So we unconsciously believe that the shadows are all that there is, and that's the way to be. So old ways of thinking and old restrictions and old habits keep us as a species where we're in moderate comfort zones until we become terribly bored with ourselves, and we create some kind of pathology or awful tragic thing to keep us busy and distracted and engaged, fearing them and trying to fight against them. I watch people fall into awfulness, one thing after another, and they're doing it because they're bored. People don't take initiative to truly transform themselves because they're caught in the trap of same old, and they don't realize the kind of transformation is even possible. Now, how do we get out of it? Part of it is beginning, as in the story of the cave in Plato, you begin to turn around in your reality. Now, Plato says we do it through education, through awareness, through higher understanding, and that's what we're trying to create for you. We're discovering that, as I have been saying, you not only live in the universe, but the universe is living in you. And the universe is not separate from your perception of it. So that means that when you begin to create, begin to create in a way that allows for the universe to come through, all kinds of things happen. You have a new entry point. Your unbounded nature begins to be released. Many more capacities begin to happen in you than are operating in local consciousness, the deepest values, the deepest purpose, the deepest patterns for life, the richest potential codings for existence become available. And you begin to find that great ideas, innovative actions become manifest. So we see that those who have turned around in the cave, meditators, mystics, high creative folks, readily see the cosmic connections, the potential entry points into the light. And the light is the larger universe, full of potential, full of creative ideas, way beyond what you had thought when you existed in the shadows. And it is then that you're able to manifest. You're able to drop in an intent or flavor that sets up reverberations that then come into form of the things that you desire, that you intended, because you're working within the quantum field. You're working within the light. And the extraordinary part is that when we are in the quantum field, we access news from the universe, just as in Plato's cave, when the poor person is turned around, at first it is so bright they can't see it, but gradually through understanding, through learning, through a new kind of awareness, they are able to live in the larger universe. They're able to live in the light. And so when we are in the quantum field, we access, I say, this larger universe. In this state, all knowing is direct knowing. All systems are on go. And I've done so many experiments with hundreds of students, the techniques of working with this phenomena of turning people away from the shadows. And among the experiments that I'm going to be showing people how to access, drawn from the quantum physics assertion of the simultaneity of time past, present, future, that can be used in altered states of consciousness to change, as I said, a minor happening in a person's past so that it affects their present and future in positive ways. We will, in some sense, be co-creating the universe, editing the Akashic field and record. So in entering into a quantum mind state, one can contact the alternate universe within and learn how problems that exist in our societies may have been solved in parallel realities. Quantum physics has discovered something that many mystics have long known, that our perception of the universe actually evokes the very universe that is observed. And if we change the way we view the universe itself spontaneously reflects the change back, because our universe is not separate from our perception. And that means that our creative imagination is truly divine. It literally affects the very blueprint of reality. Our divine creative imagination is the part of us through which God or cosmic mind or the universe imagines the world into being. We live in a quantum universe of open-ended potential at each and every moment. We are partners in what is getting dreamed up. How our universe manifests depends on how we turn away from the shadows, how we both individually, collectively co-create it. The real power then is in the viewing, how we decide to experience the universe, not as a bunch of shadows, but as a living, creative partner in imagining, designing, and manifesting new realities.
Wow. My mind is blown, Gene. And I'm curious, too, there's no doubt people on the line, too, who have been pursuing their spiritual path and transforming their life for maybe decades, right? How is this different than, what you're saying is so true. Why haven't we tapped into this before? Like, why is it now that we can really change our perception of the nature of reality?
Well, I think that a part of it is because of the gathering of the knowledge of so many traditions, so many different cultures which we never had before. It's also the fact that we are at the end of history as we have known it, because if we continue in the same way, we're out of here very shortly. So it's a matter of complexity, crisis, consciousness, and the right time. You folks listening in, you've been born at just the right time. You are the pioneers of a whole new order of being.
And it feels, too, Gene, that there's new possibilities opening that I don't know if they weren't accessible before or what, but it just seems like things have accelerated, as you're describing here, and that now more than ever we actually have more access to these quantum powers than before. Is that accurate?
Well, I believe it is. I mean, obviously you can't make an absolute statement about it, but I think that, look, I've been traveling over the earth for a very long time, and I've been seeing the evolution or the devolution, as the case may be, of many, many cultures, many people in it's now 109 countries. And what I see is an acceleration. Of course, factors unique in human history have come along. It isn't just, the internet and social media and the fact that the world mind is taking a walk with itself. It's also the rise of women to full partnership with men in the whole domain of human affairs. And this is affecting everything. because with women, often the emphasis